What is up, winning team? Hello and welcome to day 2. This is going to be like part 5 of my current series about how the colonizers are the reason for world hunger and our current cost of living crisis. I come to you guys from our next location. It's the next day, by the way. It's like 7 p.m. the next day, and it is nice. Obviously the sun is over here in the west. Hello. It's going to set over there in about 2 hours or so, and I've shown you guys this area before. I had to walk all the way up that hill. I'm going to show you guys before we get into it. In this video, right, here it goes. I already uploaded. I had to edit a couple of videos yesterday. They're already uploaded, but I don't want to give an incomplete project. So that's why I haven't posted them, because I've been doing that a little bit and I'm not happy about it. Those guys are foraging. I want to go and ask them so bad what they're foraging. Like, this is what I mean. Some people, they get it. You see, they've got their whole thing there. They've got a whole basket. This is just out. This is behind. This is a public area, very public, unfortunately. There's people exactly where I was going to go sit, right there, which is like the perfect spot. Because ever since they cut all the trees down, everybody's out, which I have mixed feelings about. I'm happy as long as we show respect to the place. But this shouldn't be a reason to keep cutting more things down because people are out here because it's actually nice. Because, I mean, look at this. Also, this rock. We're going to be talking about the Amazon, by the way, in the next part. We're going to be talking about the Amazon. But it might even, you know what I might even do? I might take this moment to interrupt us getting to that, to talk about something else I didn't get a chance to talk about. Before we do that, and while I make the decision in my mind. Because there was a situation to do with the chestnuts, as mentioned by this guy. I can't remember his name, but he will be linked in the description, where he was talking about how there was a time in the east coast of the United States where the people that had come before, a couple hundred years ago, before the colonizers showed up, had a system for where, like, chestnuts, American chestnuts, this is why I think it's still a bigger thing than it is than like places like here, were like a self-sustaining crop. Because they'd been built that way from these food systems I've been talking about, and what this whole thing is about, these unlimited food systems that had been maintained and organized and done intentionally for hundreds and thousands of years all over the world. Like I said, the Amazon is where we're going next, but we still got Africa, Asia, South America, and more to go. And people were eating them for free. But what had happened was, as a result of the English making these enclosed acts, I believe, which basically took it away from, things became privatized. You had to, instead of everybody just freely eating off the land like these guys are right now, like anybody can. I can also walk up to that tree right now, and whatever they're picking, I can pick it. This is what happened the other day when I saw the other lady picking the other fruit, and I was like, what is that? And she was like, oh, it's kind of like this, you should try it. And so then I just tried, and I was like, oh, cool. Then I took like a handful of them, and I was like, on my way, you know what I mean? That's how it was once upon a time. And then as a community, and I'm saying this all over the world, this one, I'm like, it's not specific to like all this division. It's all done on purpose. I hope you guys can see. It doesn't matter which angle I come at you from. It doesn't matter if I talk about religion and I start going off on Islam this, or also the Islam girlies, yeah? They're all leaving Islam. They finally realized. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to make a video dedicated to the Islam girlies, because I've been feeling for them. Like, these men don't love you. Like, especially like it's hot like this. And yesterday, even while I was recording, when I was doing the Once Upon a Time video, if you guys will see that was the one when I was talking about America. As I was sitting there, at one point I stopped talking and I kind of was being a bit weird. It's because this whole group of like women, they were all wearing like hijabs, like only showing their faces, like across me. And I was thinking, wow. And another time, and the same day I was walking towards it, there was a man and his wife, and he was just like in a t-shirt and jeans, and she was all dressed in this. And I was like, this is hot. I'm sweating. I'm like wiping my face every 2 seconds on camera, and she's dressed like this. Like, your man doesn't love you. Like, he doesn't love you. Like, if he sees you like that, like, he doesn't love you. It's just an excuse for the patriarchy, whatever. Anyway, so now let's see that the girls, the Islamic girlies are standing up. Hey, I will be there for them. I'll be a shoulder to cry on. I will take to the streets with them. I don't care. Even if I have to show up in a hijab just to be respectful, I will take to the streets with them, because, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm really excited about that as well. But anyway, you guys can see, whatever angle I come from, it's the same story, that there's a group of people trying to create division that doesn't actually have to exist. Because even if, with this whole thing, like I said about the Islam thing, for me, it's the same thing. Like, all this obsession with women like this and men like this, all it's created is a generation of women like myself who see all of this as just a very coincidental way for men to decide, be able to do whatever they want, and then just treat us as baby making machines. Open your legs, close your mouth, get in the kitchen. Do what you're told. Stay looking young, stay looking beautiful. We're going to be old, fat, crusty, and dusty. We're going to have not a single ounce of self-control. We're not going to be anything like the men of the Bible. We've got nothing close to Christ. But you're going to have to be literally the Virgin Mary. Otherwise, you're not good enough. That creates division. Do you know what be sexy from men? You know what get us interested? You guys being more like Christ. How about that? You guys having self-control yourselves. How about that? But that's never the answer, is it? You know, same like with these governments, I see it the same way. They could just let everybody live on the land and we could all just respect each other and play our part and do our role. But there's always got to be some greedy person who can't just take their share and has to ask for more than they want and just find a creative way, right, to make it possible. And that's what they've done with these laws. So now if I come and take like all these, look, there's all berry trees, all of that, all of those berries there. Let me take over there because that's easier to see there, right? Where I just came from, it's all berries. So if I was like if we were like a real community, we were coming up here and we were like tending to all of this, even just from the berries alone, there will be a lot to be here. But you know what happened? The government will come in. You can't do this. And this is when this all started. This is what I'm saying. This stuff we're talking about now. This is when it all started. A couple 100 years ago with these enclosed. Let me get my notebook. You see, this is why I've got this whole freaking bag with me. Because I wanted to show you this. I'm going to go to that tree because those guys have just left now. Let me see. I got my notes here. I got my snacks. I got my Bible. I got my everything. I got my pencil case. I even got my things ready on the next thing on the Amazon. You see that? I love that for me. I told you I knew I was never going to have another big like revelation until I got a new notebook. But the notebook had to be on brand, and that's why it's Mean Girls, because it's like, I'm not actually a mean girl, but I'm going to feel like one. But it's with a purpose. Okay, where is it? The what is it? The Enclosure Acts or whatever they called it. Yeah. Oh, no. That's about the Amazon. The Amazon is going to get really interesting, I think. Aha! Reading from my notes here. The Enclosure Acts of 1750 and 1850. Common forests and commons of England. Right? And I'm going to take you further. Common forests. So places like where I'm at now. This is what we're looking at, yeah? Were systematically privatized, cleared and converted to agricultural monoculture, millions of acres, in just 2 generations of food systems that sustained rural populations for centuries, and in others, millennia, was dismantled, fenced off and plowed under the guise of modernization, efficiency and progress. Not a better system, a more controlled one. Seeds had to be purchased, land had to be rented, and labor to be sold. So these are the words I took from this lovely fella who I'm going to have quoted in the thing. You can no longer walk into a forest and eat. Those were the Enclosure Acts. So at that very same time that those came in this country, this is when the deforestation was happening all over the world. This is when it was happening all over the world. This is when they were doing these things. So actually, shall we, while we're here, I can't tell if I want to go to the Amazon example, or if I want to go straight to the America one here. Let's go to the America one. You know what I mean? Let's just stay on topic. That was in the last video. Hold on, where is it? Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. Yeah, I'll actually talk about this because it's the same guy, so then actually it makes sense to be in the same video. So here's what he said. I don't know why I find squatting to be such a comfortable position to sit in. Like, it's actually a joke. I just hate sitting. Anything that requires being on my butt, I don't like to sit on my butt. Like, that's just, I don't like it. I don't know. I feel restricted. Like this, I can just bam. She's up. I'm moving. I can run. I can move. You know what I mean? Bam. And also I'm in like a sprung position. I could all just hop out like Spider-Man. Anyways, nobody's asking for this. So here it goes. And let it rain and clear it out. You guys remember chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. Anyway, and let it rain. Anyway. And clear it out. Where is it? Oh, yeah. The American chestnut. The Castanea dentata, before 1904, the most important fruit tree in eastern North America. The land of the free, supposedly. Looks like you lost a lot of freedom right when that Constitution was being written. Grew from Maine to Georgia, from Atlantic coast to the Ohio Valley, represented a quarter of all trees in the eastern deciduous forest. Also, I found this fascinating because you guys know me. Now I say people don't know about language, and neither do I, but except I'm just self-aware about it. So every time I see a word I don't know exactly, I always tend to check them, even though I think I do know them, and then it works out for me. Par exemple, so I searched obviously to find the definition of deciduous. alone, which means falling off at maturity. And deciduous tree means shed their leaves. This is just another example of what I mean when I say about studying techniques that and English language and how manipulative it is, which we're going to see a lot of that in this series. Why you guys are going to understand even throughout all of this why I hate the English language. Saying a deciduous tree sheds their leaves isn't quite the same amount of wisdom as explaining that the word deciduous itself means falling off at maturity. So the leaves, without that information, you don't really know why the leaves are falling off. And so this is where I'm like, sometimes explanations of things, I'm like, if you told me that sheds their leaves, that doesn't tell me that much. I'm like, okay, sheds their leaves off at maturity, because now that's a whole nother rabbit hole of questions I got to ask, because what does the maturity mean? What do you mean leaves mature? Because that was my first question. I was like, what do you mean leaves mature? Which I know they get older and die, but what does that really mean? So now I have more interest to look into that, but I'm not going to do that now because that's not the point of what we're talking about. So they represent a quarter of all trees in the eastern deciduous forest. Now this is America, so there's a lot more space, by the way. I'm just here in the United Kingdom, and their American states are bigger than this place. This is why I'm like, low key. The UK, the English people have just got such a main character energy, and people just treat them as such a main character that like people treat them as, this is why I'm like, don't feel like whatever you think of yourself, it's mental. I was talking about this the other day when I'm like, if you have confidence, people will respond to confidence. It's not about like outward appearance or anything. People just respond to the way you treat yourself, and the way you think of yourself, because people look at this place like these guys are the big dogs. And I'm like, how have you guys pulled this off? Obviously with all of this. So they produced an enormous amount of nutritious, easy to store, freely available nuts every autumn without human input. So this is a big deal. The indigenous people had included it in their food systems for thousands of years. So why do you think they got rid of the indigenous folks, guys? Why do you think there was a threat? Do you think that they were just racist? This is why I don't believe in racism. This is why when people are like, oh, the race, they're threats. Like I said to you guys, I was talking about people say stuff about black people. I'm like, are they hating or are they just haters? Because sometimes it's giving jealousy. Like, that's why I'm like, hate all you want. Because listen, how much you people love the black culture? Look at the World Cup. There's niggas everywhere. Niggas was in Paris. Niggas is in Paris, bro. Niggas is in Paris. But then the French want to be some of the... Anyway, the indigenous people had included it in their food system for thousands of years. Rural Appalachian communities in the 1800s relied on it substantially. Settlers' hogs were fattened on chestnut mast. People ate them roasted in the city streets. Imagine that, you're just coming in, you're a hog rider like it's Clash of Clans, right? I love the hog riders and Clash of Clans. I love Clash of Clans. So we're not going to get into that. People ate them roasted in the streets. So you're just throwing your like thing, the shells in there. The hogs are eating. The hogs are living their life. You're having some nice chestnuts as you travel across the eastern parts of the United States. In the 1900s, you could not walk through most of the eastern USA without being within easy reach of free food. Do you know how many times when I read that statement, in my head, I heard the funeral march, the version I listened to, the one that's like, that it starts really dramatic. I'm not going to start singing it. I wish I had it to play, but I started hearing funeral march in my head. And then I just see like in my head, every image I've ever seen of homeless people and poverty. Every single time I've heard of a mother or a father or a family or a person talking about poverty and food stamps in the United States and crying over healthcare. And I just hear the building of the song Funeral March in the back of my head. as I read statements like this, where I think a couple hundreds of years ago, people were just frolicking and doing all of this, right? With their hogs in like exploring, eating freely off of the work that came before, just for us to all be suffering because of some freaking greedy people. Yeah, right. And then here's the coinkadinkle. Coinkadinkly, the public narrative, because this is where you guys will see in this couple hundred years, this is where this whole accepted narrative thing started, right? The official, you're going to keep hearing the word coming up, the official reports, and the official reports all seem to have started around this same time, the 18th, 19th century, versus there's still actual evidence, which we're going to talk about for all these different places, prior to. So let's remember, this is the last 200 years, and I've said this to you guys before. How prideful do we have to be and delusional to think that all of a sudden, us in the last 200 years know better than every other single existence of humans that came for the hundreds and thousands of years before? When we still, like when I go to Rome, they're like, oh, we patched up some of the areas of the Colosseum. Ain't look, you guys seen it? Ain't look nothing nowhere near as good as what they did before. They still can't explain all this stuff all over the world. But no, we're the right ones. This is the reason, one of the reasons I'm standing here, by the way, guys. The reason I haven't left this rock, because I believe this is where the witches come and do their seance. I've said this before, because they're like the rock bits in the middle. And can you see there's like a smaller circle in the middle there? And then there's like a wider one here. It's giving an eye. It looks like an eye. And I've injured myself trying to immediately jump onto that rock. And it's actually way higher than it looks. And I'll show you guys. Should I just run there now quickly? Let's just run there now quickly to show you. I tried to just see if I could leap onto the rock. Like, what was I actually thinking? Oh, I don't like walking on this. It feels like, ugh, don't like it. Yeah. What was I thinking? And I did get injured. I also injured myself the other day, by the way. I was in London. Long story. I wasn't supposed to be there. Anyway. So here's their story. Here's the narrative. And let me enter into a new topic, a new tactic that I'm going to be referencing as we go through this. And from here on out, which I call the disease paranoia tactic. In 1904, a fungal blight introduced. Oh yes, a fungal blight introduced, the record says, via Asian chestnut trees imported to the Bronx Zoo, entered the population. In 1940, approximately 4 billion US chestnut trees were dead, the fastest and most complete biological collapse of a keystone food species ever recorded. Right? So here's where we start the narrative of, oh, the things came from overseas and they're the problem, right? It was that thing over there, not us here who are screwing over our own people, not us who are willing to kill some incredible technology that could serve us, our own people, for generations to come. Those people over there, bearing in mind, we came here and stole it anyway. This is why I was like, America's talking about 250 years independence, and just made me laugh this year. For some reason this year, I was just like kind of laughing about the whole situation, because I was like, brother, that's kind of sad, you know, like, right? So here's a repeated narrative, right? A species that for millennia provided free, abundant calories to every human being in its range. Now, I want you guys to also just think about the fact that, yeah, they're saying that this is because of the fungal whatever that came from the Asian chestnut, right? It's giving the China virus, right? It's like, how comes then for all these years, this is what I'm saying, same with us as humans, everyone's like, well, people used to die. Because you're going to see, they're going to talk about this in a second. How comes people were living before all this modern technology? We're all on supplements and medication. We need therapy, we need this, we need the superfood, this, that. And we're still damn near dying. We're still the walking dead. And then they've convinced us that somehow, anyway, whatever. A species that for millennia, yeah. So, and I also said this. And here's a logical question, because I was looking into this. Can somebody explain to me, if they had so many chestnut trees, why were they importing them anyway? It all seems a little bit coinkadinkle to me. It does seem a bit coinkadinkle. So these trees, yeah, you see the ones that are just tall and thin for no reason? The point. Anyway, so yeah, the logical question that no one is asking is what I want to know is, why were they importing them? It eliminated a single human life time. The official explanation, here we go, right? The accepted narrative, as the devil stood there with all of his people, yeah? And he stood there and he was like this. doing his conducting, yeah? The official explanation, yeah? The board meeting, and the board meeting's in hell. The board meeting's in Kingdom of Darkness. So, guys, here's what's happening, right? Here's what's going on the tabloids. CNN, Fox News, Sky News, BBC. Are you listening? This is what you're reporting on 9 a.m. in the morning, okay? The official explanation is that an accident of horticultural import, a single infected batch of trees that came and ruined it all. So that's what it is. That's what it is, right? And so then you'll be waking up in the morning, going downstairs, going to watch. This is back in the days. There's only 3 channels, yeah. Good morning, America, and welcome. You know what I mean? Today's headlines. 4 billion trees have been affected by a new disease coming in called the Asian chestnut disease. That is a fungal infection. We've got our specialist in to talk to you guys about it. Hi. Yeah, I'm Dr. Kelly Adams from Harvard. I'm working in the School for Botany and Irony and Pride. And so we're just here to tell you basically what's coming in over in Asia. It's very common, you see, and then it goes into all of that. And then obviously that's the part where they lose you all. And then because you've been lost, you think that they're smart and you think they're smarter than them. So you automatically trust them because you think somebody's smarter than you should automatically trust. Hook, line, and sinker. I am so bored of seeing this happen over and over again. I'm not even 30, mate. But the timing. The American chestnut dies at the exact moment when industrialization of food was accelerating, centralized food production, corporate food production, and the American chestnut would have been the most economically inconvenient. Yeah. So we're going to leave that there for the American part of the part of the example. You see that? It was inconvenient because, yes, then we had the Industrial Revolution, right? The 9 to 5 began. Now that's just the norm. That's just, you just go to university to get a good job so that you can live. Well, because how else are you going to provide? Because how else are you going to live? Oh, I would homeschool my kids, but I can't because I got to go to work and me and my husband can't afford to look after the family on one salary no more, even though we did about 50 years ago. Do you think there's a reason? And now in the United Kingdom, yeah, this is the one that got me. I was like, nah, we've got to be idiots for this, yeah. They're all talking about now, as a parent, you can now be entitled to 30 pounds. They keep seeing this advert. This is what I'm like, sometimes I think God just is laughing, knowing how irritated I'm getting seeing these stupid adverts here. The advert's like, as a parent in the UK, you can now get up to 30 hours free childcare from the government. Huh? How many? Wait. They can get 30 hours. They can get 30 hours free childcare. So why can't that money be redistributed otherwise so that the family can use it in a way that's more favorable, and maybe they could actually adjust their system so they wouldn't need to pay for extra childcare outside of school and this, that, and the other, and this, that, and this. What about that as an option? This is what I'm saying, guys. Look at this. Litter. This is what I don't like. But yeah, this is the spot I wanted to show you guys. So let me put this down here. This bench is broken. You guys see what I'm talking about, by the way? You see all the things I be talking about and the things I be saying? I'm actually cooking. Like, this is why at this point, yeah, I really don't respect anyone and I really don't care what anybody has to say because I'm like, tell me I'm wrong. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, just tell me I'm wrong. You see, there's berries all here as well. All of that there, all berries there. All up this level. I came up from all the way over there. This is the view from over here. This is what I can see out my window, by the way. About here. And then I can see the creepy government building that's behind there. If I walk a bit there, which I'll walk there in a second. But yeah, this is it. They've cut some of this down. I don't know if you guys remember the last time I brought you guys here. I did bring you guys here like about 2 years ago. They've cut a lot of this down. So this is cut down. And can you see if you look throughout all the town, like there's houses, but like the houses, there's trees everywhere. So like this goes on forever over there. It goes on like forever behind me that way. It goes on over there. It stops for the golf course, then it goes on forever over there. Then there's another forest over there with a patch of houses, and behind that goes on forever over there. And then over there, the forest that we've been at recently, down there, I can identify the forest from here. Can you see that? It's just in trees, and the houses are just amongst the trees. That's why I say this town was carved out of a forest. It's actually funny when you think about it. It's funny when you think about it. But yeah, so you see, this is what I'm saying when I'm like, this stuff doesn't make sense. It's like it's been done. And then, like I said, look at this. Look at this. All the litter. We got water bottles. We got freaking beer. We got Pepsi. We got cigarettes. We got, obviously, the bench has been destroyed. We got I'm like, guys, is it really that hard? Because you know what's crazy? If you come down this hill where I'm going to exit eventually, just down this hill, it won't look like it because it looks like we're just in the middle of nowhere. Just right there's a bin right at the end. And I'm like, is it also that hard to just hold your stuff? Because like I'm holding my stuff right now. Look at that. I bought an extra bag. I bought a bag specifically to hold the stuff that I wanted to bring out and my rubbish when I'm done with it. And then I take it to the bin. There's bins everywhere in the United Kingdoms. But yes, so this is us walking. Now down here. Been around here a lot of times. And but do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not making stuff up, and I'm actually not the enemy of progress here. Like, this is the thing. This is why I'm like, God, just let me die. Because I can't believe I get treated like the enemy of progress in this life for trying to point out that, just for trying to say to everyone that I'm not judging you in how you're living your life. I'm saying we shouldn't be accepting the pathetic version of life we've been told is all that we can have. So that's behind it. Oh, check out the plane. Can we see the plane? Where's the plane? Lord, get me in a flight, please. Emirates, preferably. I need to get on an Emirates, mate. I've had enough. I've had enough of the short hauls. Next time we get on a plane, we're doing a long haul. I'm doing Emirates, and I haven't decided where I want to go. Oh, yeah. So you see that? Where does it actually? I kind of know where that goes. The thing is, you kind of know where everywhere goes. So there's another bench there. Don't know what's there. This is the bit I wanted to show you guys over here. See what I like about this? This is me on a Sunday, minding my business. Came out with my little snacks. I got my nice ice cold water. I got my Bible. I got my notebook, and I got my people. What more could I possibly ask for? And nature. What else could I ask for? And obviously, always the Lord, but He's always there. So, behind there, if you can see any buildings, if you can. But we did go out there before. I took you guys all the way back there. You know where the creepy government buildings are? Yeah, I did take you behind there before. And we could also get there from here. This is like halfway between. Yeah, look. So now I've walked all the way, so you can't even see the other bench I was at there. Look at this. This is the other side. This is what I'm saying. What the hell? We're just in a forest, bro. And then again, people wasting just littering. And it's just like, mate, I get it, but like, and it's always a bloody Stella, isn't it? It's always a bloody Stella. Anyway, see all of this? Yeah, and then all of that. Can you see? That's all the way. Like, how far out? Yeah, that's the edge of the town all the way over there. I can see. That's not the no, it's not the edge of the town. That would have to be the water tower. Yeah, it's just forest. Can you see that? So when I'm reading this stuff, I'm like, it's making sense. It's actually making some kind of sense. But anyways, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it pushing because eventually I'm trying to keep it fresh. Like, so that's why I'm doing different videos in different locations and more berries. And the reason why I keep pointing these out, it's just one thing and it's seemingly one thing. But how many places in the world have gotten rich off of just one thing that they do and they do well? Like, for example, Japan. The Japanese with the rice and a lot of foods, like a lot of the ways certain foods came along, it was because like, I think it was even like, they came along because sushi, I can't remember if sushi itself means rice, or what does the sushi mean? It means something really specific, but I can't remember. But like they have like rice, it's because of the climate that they live in that they can very easily grow the rice the way they do. They also make rice in Italy. There was a lot of rice places, which I showed you guys while I was there. A lot of things are regional and they grow them the certain way because of what they have. And if you can capitalize off of one thing and do that thing, if you do it, you do it well. I love that song. J-Lo, I can't stand her. She's one of those needs to just let her career die and just like, she's still stunning and everything. And I'm not trying to say she's old or anything. I think that's much more of her. I mean, like, look at this, guys. Come on. Like, this is what I mean when I'm like, guys, I'm just out in the trees and like, I'm just out with the trees. Not like here. Here I kept purposely came because you can see stuff. And there's more berries over there. But like, think about it. Think about how many people are broke here. How many different like plants and different like things I've seen. My next door neighbor with their apple tree. One of my other neighbors, they have chickens as well. People that like they have space, you can grow a couple of things. You saw from yesterday's video, I took you out. Maybe the options weren't great, but start with something, anything. In fact, there's a little girl and her family the other day. It's really sad who I saw, and they were, is that my water bottle? No, it's not my water bottle. Oh, more berries over there. So cool. But yeah. Hello. Hi. All right. And outside their house, there was it was really sad. She was like, I can't remember, I took a photo of it anyway. And she had some little plants, and all the plants, they were quite specific. I was like, wow. And she had she had tomato plants, she had cauliflower, she had courgettes, she had jalapenos, all this. And she just wanted people to like donate via PayPal because she wanted to get a gift for her doctors who had supported her because she has a really horrible disease. I was like, Jesus, guys, like, first of all, what a beautiful thing. Second of all, like, what a way as a community to come together. You know what I mean? Like, these are the little things that I see that just break my heart, where I'm just like, we're just not a community. This is why when I realize that when I'm saying that I don't believe in like relationships and stuff and community, I don't believe in it as how it stands right now. Does that make sense? Because I just feel like I've seen better. So this is the tree these people are picking from. I bet it's got the same fruit that I have. Let's see what this is. What is it? Yeah, this is the thingies I was picking from that lady. These are all over the town, by the way. I don't know what these are. I need to at least keep on because we live in the day and age where, right, now which way do I exit? Watch this, yeah. So this is what I can see from here. I'm going to go this way because I know what's going to be at this. Watch this. This is what I mean when I say this town is a weird place. So, sometimes I don't like walking down things because I feel like, I'm not going to say what I feel like. Anyway, I get a bit of vertigo, is what I'm trying to say. And actually talking to you guys actually helps because it's a distraction. Okay, now we're going downhill. This is why I can't come out here, by the way, guys, when it's like rainy, because it'll be too slippery. I'll show you once I get to the bottom, because now I'm old. You can tell I'm actually getting older because now I'm being so careful. Back in the days as a kid, I would have been like, last one down the hill's a rotten egg. Okay, I wouldn't have. But somebody would have said it, and me and my competitive self would have been like, yeah, obviously. All right, here we go. I'm actually trying to be cautious because I did actually hurt my leg again. So I've got 2 leg injuries at the moment. So, and the Lord's like, did I not been telling you? Okay, so down the little hill thing. So that was all the way up there. You can't see where I came from. It goes all the way up there. And look at that, main road, just like that. Just like that. And just like that. Like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this place? What is this place? Now I'm on the main road. Yeah. I'd rather be famous instead. I wouldn't. Anyways, guys, you get the gist. So that's kind of what I wanted to like. These are so many things I have to say on this topic, and I'm having fun kind of doing this while I'm out and about. The only reason I'm doing this out and about, guys, you see how my attitude? It's because my period ended in the heat wave. The videos that came before this series, I want you to go and see. So when I'm telling you that I'm suffering, you can understand that I really am, because now I feel like I'm back in my element. I'm like outside, you know what I mean? And this is again where I say, like, it's so annoying being in 2026, because when I tell people like I like to be outside, they're not thinking about this. They're not thinking me taking my frozen water and my fruit and my snacks and my notebook and my Bible to come and make videos with you guys and tell you about how there's even more berries here by the side of the road, all this entire bush. Again, they're not talking about that. They think I'm talking about, yeah, men are so attractive, and every single one of them, I want every single one of them inside of me, because that sounds so nice. That really feels like valuing myself. That really makes me feel like I've achieved something. That really makes me feel wanted in life. And like people respect me for who I am so much, right? That really is so, that's exactly where I want to be. On some date with some guy that doesn't really care about my personality. That's exactly where I want to be. You know what I mean? So anyway, I don't know where we're going to go next. Well, actually, I'm telling lies. I don't know. But you guys are getting the gist. I know all of my thoughts and feelings about a lot of things are all melding in together. And you see, isn't this funny? Isn't this just funny? Like, what is this? What actually is this? I can't be asked. Guys, I can't be asked. Anyway, I'm gonna think of somewhere else to go. because I want to go and sit somewhere else while we go to our next topic. And I'm glad we did that topic, because I wanted to highlight that actually happened, and I want you guys to really envision it. I want you to envision like the things I'm talking about and think, even if you don't believe me, imagine if it were true. And it kind of goes back to what I said, and I guess I'll leave the end of this video with this. Actually, hold on 1 second. I want you guys to actually think about this. Like, actually imagine that, like I was saying the other day, that sometimes the way I look at this stuff is like, I believe it because, you know how I said if truth is a song, then knowledge is the words and the music is wisdom, right? That's how I feel about this, where it's just like, as soon as I looked at this, before I'd even looked further, I was like, I've heard this song before. Like, I've heard this song before. Like, I've heard this song before, and this is the song I keep hearing. It's almost like someone's trying to shut it out. And that's how I feel about all this stuff I'm talking about with you guys, where it's like, when you have these kinds of people who are controlling what we're allowed to know, what we're not allowed to know, who control the narrative of what's considered official information and non-official information, we should be very wary of feeling so comfortable and confident and sure of ourselves about some of the things that we think, because we should be thinking about who's the one who's actually benefiting off of us being so sure about it. You know what I mean? You see the sun's going to set in like an hour over there. I want to start singing Zara Larsson again. It happens every time. Anyway, but you get the gist, right? They're the ones who are in control of, if they control, like I always say to you guys, whoever controls what you think controls what you do, because what you do is an extension of what you think. You know what I mean? For whatever reason today, I thought it'd be a fun idea to come out, and therefore I spent a whole bunch of time preparing myself, packing a bag, getting my snacks together, rereading my notes to see where I wanted to go, thinking about the route I wanted to go out to. Like, the simple thought, that's just one thought that led to my whole actions. That's what we do every day. That's why I'm like, whatever you take in, whatever you believe, first be careful about what you let in, right? And then also be careful that when you think you know something, question where you heard it from. And finally, I've got to go and try this just for the sake of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ranch finally made it to the United Kingdoms. Praise Jesus. God bless America. Oh my gosh, I'm actually taking the mick out of everyone at this point. Actually, everybody can get it. I told you guys, I'm equal opportunity racist at this point, because I'm just sick of everyone being idiots. Because like I said, none of us are each other's enemy. It's all of our government worldwide that are the enemies. So anyways, you guys, whilst I go into yet another place where it's just, I just left all of that behind, yeah. And then look, oh wait, can you see down the road? Yeah, it goes down there. And this is where I'm heading now. So I'm gonna go walk for a little bit and find myself in another location probably, and then I'll be circling back. And I do want to talk about Amazon next, because I think there's something interesting about the fact that it's called that the company Amazon today, it's called Amazon, knowing what we're about to find out about the Amazon forest. But in order to hear about that, you better come back. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It's all linked in the description. It's all going to be in the playlist. Just go and find the playlist and watch it all. This is like part 4, I don't know, guys. Just check the playlist. It's all in there, because if life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you.